Hey y'all, it's Morgan Treadwell with West Texas Rangelands talking range concepts with you here today. And today it's a chilly, crisp, cool April afternoon. But we're going to talk a little bit about what is Rangeland Analysis Platform. Now, Rangeland Analysis Platform, or RAP as we commonly call it, was designed by Dr. Drac Twidwell from University of Nebraska and Dr. Brady Allred from the University of Montana in Missoula. Now, these guys have put together a really, really cool resource. It's totally free. And what it does is it looks at indices and density cover estimates by functionality group. Now, this can be really powerful when we start to talk about ground cover and start to talk about invasive shrub and brush and trees cover. So, Rangeland Analysis Platform, again, another totally free resource. You as agents can use it as much as you would like. Extend this knowledge out to your landowners and let them use it too, because it's really a worthwhile tool that researchers use all the time. And we're also going to be integrating this into our prairie project too, which is going to be coming up as a range concept soon. So stay tuned, check out Rangeland Analysis Platform, and I hope you all have a great day. Thanks. We are going to get started with the Rangeland Analysis Platform. So open up a new browser and go ahead and type Rangeland Analysis Platform. We'll just do a general Google search for it. That's going to be the first thing that comes up. Its website address is rangelands.app. So we're going to open up the platform. Okay, you should be able to open this up on any particular browser. I'm working on Google Chrome today. Go ahead and click that green launch button. Okay, it's going to take you to this landing page, and basically it's ran very similar to Google Earth. So you have an option to take a tour of the application if you'd like to learn more about it, step by step, walk you through it, steps 1, 2, 3, and it will tell you about all the different features that exist on this cool website. For now, we're just going to go to the app. Okay, so first things first, I like to work where I can see a satellite image of it. So we're going to click on satellite. I'm going to turn the transparency of it pretty up so we can see what we're working with. And then it's ran just like Google Earth. So let's look for Cristobal, Texas. Okay. It's going to take us to good old Cristobal. I like the way this area looks right here. So we're going to focus in on a very specific pasture and boundary. First things first though, make sure before you build your polygon that you're looking at the functional group that interests you the most. So for the first part, let's just keep it simple. We'll start with annual forb and grass cover. Now you can change this later on down the road, but for now, let's just look and see what this is looking like for 2019. Okay, so now we're going to build our polygon area, and you can zoom in on this if you would like a closer up of it all, drag it around just like you would Google Earth. Again, I like this little area right here because it's got some very identifiable features, and it'll help us really determine the overall cover and density of certain functional groups within a rangeland pasture. Now, since we are working on rangelands, I'm going to exclude croplands, development, and water. Okay. And then I am going to click Draw Features, and we're going to build our polygon. So again, very similar to Google Earth. I'm going to try to find a fence line here. It looks like that might be one. Again, it can only process, relatively decent pasture sizes. So you really want to pick out some definable features, and you might have to take a larger pasture and divide it up into smaller manageable parts. So go ahead and close that polygon by double clicking it. Okay, we've got our polygon built. I'm looking at annual forb and grass cover from 2019. I'm going to turn the transparency up a little bit more, and you can kind of see how that's going to start building out. Now, I would like to calculate a time series for this particular area as well. Of course, you can tell that the more denser, darker the color, the more dense our annual forb and grass cover was for that particular area. To me, this is the really cool part of this program. So we're going to click calculate time series. It's going to build us a graph for that defined polygon area. Let's make it bigger. Okay, so this is our annual forb and grass cover, as well as all the other features. When you click calculate that time series, it's going to build all of those features in the initial graph for you for that defined polygon pasture area. Okay, so this is looking at that time series starting from 1985, going all the way to 2019. We've got annual precipitation on there as well. Tree cover, that would include mesquite and invasive trees like redberry juniper or blueberry juniper, bare ground cover, shrub cover, perennial forb and grass cover, and annual forb and grass cover. As it is now, this is a really helpful tool to look at trends in time, looking at specific cover features, but it's pretty messy and it's pretty loud and noisy. So we can click these things to isolate and quiet that graph down a little bit so it's not so intense. So for now, I just want to look at perennial forb and grass cover. And you can see everything else is quieted out. Now let's say I want to look at precip though too with it. Go ahead and click on precip and it will bring up those two features that you have clicked on. So now we're just looking at annual precipitation and perennial forb and grass cover. Okay, I like what I see, but I also remember I wanted to look at this to see what type of brush maintenance or management had occurred on this piece of property prior to maybe me purchasing it. So I'm going to, I want to look at tree cover. I want to see if there's any differences in how all of that changed throughout the management. So this is going to be tree cover. This is also going to include desirable trees as well. So live oaks, shin oak, anything like that. It's all lumped into a functional group together. And so you can see here in 1990, boy, that tree cover really spiked up. But then it went down, and then you can kind of see the general trends involving tree cover. Let's say I was curious about the shrub cover as well. And we can click on that as well and isolate those two functional groups. Maybe it was a rainfall driven event too. So we can look and see what type of rainfall has occurred on that particular pasture defined polygon unit throughout the time. Now, Rangeland Analysis Platform is really, really cool because it's relatively up to date. So we're looking at 2019 data in April of 2020. I don't really know of any other website that is free as a free online tool that has that early of information and that up-to-date information regarding a time series area. Okay, so now moving on to some other really cool features of Rangeland Analysis Platform. And you can click Generate Report. Again, this could be a really, really cool tool to give to your landowners or to print out for you ahead of a site visit. So it includes all the different variables that we looked at earlier. It's going to include absolutely everything. It's going to show a smaller picture of your area of interest. And it's going to obviously cite the Rangeland Analysis Platform as the source of that information. Now, if we wanted to clear the map and kind of start all over again, turn some of this stuff down. The wildfire feature that is on this is really, really cool. And so we can turn that up. Okay, and it's going to display fire boundaries for the selected year from 1984 to 2017. If you've had a recent wildfire, then this can be pretty helpful and pretty timely to get an idea of what type of functional group was the most affected by it. Again, this is something that you'll just need to play around with. I knew that there was a wildfire in the area of Christoval in 2015. Now, this is the head of the river wildfire, and it burned approximately 5,206 acres starting on August 15th of 2015. This is the mapped fire boundary that is that was a product from when Texas A&M Forest Service responded to the fire. Now, the only fires that are going to be displayed here are fairly large fires where state and federal resources were called into. So we can calculate that same time series, okay, for just that fire boundary. So we don't need to build a polygon or anything else. It's going to calculate that time series for that fire. Just wanted to make sure I've got the right report. Okay, so this is looking at different functional group responses within that defined wildfire boundary area. And obviously 2015 was that fire season. Okay, and so we had on average 30 inches of rainfall that year. And again, you can click on these features to minimize them from the graph. So if we just wanted to get an idea or some type of indication of what that bare ground cover looked like in 2015 regarding previous years, we can see that overall it was relatively comparable to previous years within that wildfire boundary area. And then we can also see that in 2017, bare ground cover dropped to 5.5%. And within 2 years of a major wildfire event. Now that's pretty cool. If we wanted to attribute that to probably annual rainfall, again, we can look at 2015, 2016, 2017. Again, rainfall compared to decreases or increases in bare ground cover. So if you've had a major wildfire event, this is a pretty cool tool to be able to give your landowners following wildfire. Again, you're going to need to know what year that wildfire occurred at and the general vicinity of where that wildfire was. But you can calculate that same time series, or you can even generate that same report for that wildfire area. Okay, so here is our PDF report of the Head of the River Ranch fire that started in August of 2015. Again, pretty cool tool. I can't say enough good things about the Rangeland Analysis Platform. It's definitely not perfect. There's going to be some variability associated with this tool, but it's totally free. You can pull it up on your iPhone, on your smartphone. It's mobile friendly, and you can also pull it up on your laptop in the comfort of your home. It doesn't take a whole lot of brains to run this particular program. It's very user-friendly, and it's totally free too. So if you have any type of experience with Google Earth, you should be able to maneuver the Rangeland Analysis Platform just fine. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. I hope you got something out of this range concepts. Remember to check back in on West Texas Rangelands on our range concepts, and I'll include some notes from today's video, as well as some kind of points to ponder and take home messages as well, just to make sure that this training is really clear and defined in your mind. So thank you so much for tuning in.